Hello guys, welcome to another episode of our Python for Artificial Intelligence playlist, where we look at some of the Python concepts needed to be able to learn AI and its related technologies. So in this episode we'll be looking at strings. So strings are a very important data type in Python, and are used to store a sequence. Like, strings are a sequence of characters stored in single, double or triple quotes. So for example, we could have a variable like first name that has this, that's a string. Or we could have another variable last name that has this, that holds this that double quotes. So these two, they are both strings. The important thing is staying consistent. Even this is possible, having triple quote. So this is also, these are all strings. The important thing is to stay consistent. If you are using single quote, you use it all through, from in front of the sequence of characters, and behind and at the end. If you are using double quotes, you use it before and after. So the name, we call them strings, but they are of the type str. So if we were to check, for example, the type of a string, what we need to do is we do print type, and we pass, for example, intro, and running it, we get the class str, which is the type of a string. So if you maybe had a function that had to check if a variable is holding a string or another data type, you'll be checking for str. Maybe you have to check and then know what to do next, you'll be checking for str. So we are also going to look at a few built-in functions we can use with strings, or things we can do generally with strings. So with strings, it is possible to access characters in a string. First of all, one thing I would like to mention is that strings are immutable. Strings are immutable, like you cannot like change them. You can reassign a string variable, like, but you cannot. Strings are immutable. We are going to see that in detail later. So first of all, accessing characters in a string. For example, we have first name John. If I wanted to access the first character in, or let me say the second character in John, all I have to do is that we'll just use print. So print first name, and I use square bracket. With square bracket, if I wanted to get the first character, I just have to pass 0. In programming, we start counting counting from 0. So the first the first thing of any string or anything is at the point 0. The second one is at 1. So if we wanted to get the first character of John, all we have to do is write John, the first character of first name. All we have to do is write first name, pass square, and then after pass square bracket with the index of the character we are, like the index of the character, like of the first character. So of passing 0 permits us to get the first character, passing 1 permits us to get the second character. So if we were to run this, gives us J. You can see here under class string, this gives us J, which is the first character. Let me comment this out. So if we were to, and then if we pass 1, we get O, which is the second character of John. So that's how you access different characters in a string, using square brackets and passing the index of the position the character is at. So the second thing we are going to be looking at is slicing strings. So this is, we can give as heading for this, we can say accessing chars. So characters. So the next thing we are going to look at is we are going to look at slicing strings. So you might have a string, you want to maybe like cut a part of it, like get just a part of the string. Like for example, we have let's say we have welcome. Let's say intro was welcome to my YouTube channel, and we wanted to slice maybe the first word welcome. So we wanted to slice welcome. What we'll do is we'll just say let's just use print again, use print, and then intro, and then we pass square bracket. But this time around we like slicing takes two parameters, takes not really two parameters, but like within the square bracket we pass positions, like where we want to start and where we want to end. So for example, if we wanted to slice the string from the starting position, let's say from the first character. So maybe for example with welcome we have 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so we wanted 6 7. So we wanted to maybe cut a slice welcome. What we'll do is we'll pass 0, which is the index of the first letter, and then we pass we know the last letter is at welcome has welcome has welcome has 7 characters. So but to be able to welcome has 7 characters, and but since we start counting at 0, we can say to cut we need from 0 to 7. But now from 0 to 7, like the where we like this is like we often say it is the starting position is inclusive while the end is exclusive. So if we have to slice welcome here, we have what we have to do, we have to use 8. So if we were to pass 8 here and try to run it, we get welcome. So the reason we know, if we're counting the characters from 0, we'll get just 7, but the reason we use 8 is because the end is exclusive. Meanwhile the starting point is inclusive when slicing. So that's the slice method. You can, this one you can slice, you can slice from at any point within a string. So you can practice more with this and see how it works. But we have the slice method, like let me say string slicing. So another thing we can do with strings is we are able to join strings. Like in program we describe that as concatenation. Like we can concatenate strings. So for example, if I have first name and last name, and if I had maybe a place in an application I wanted to display a person's full names, what I'll have to do is like print, we can say first name plus the plus sign is not like adding, it's like with strings the plus sign acts as concatenation, like it joins two strings together, and then last name. And if we do this, we will see that the strings will be joined, but we'll see how to separate them. So we see we have John Matt here. So let's comment this out. So if we wanted to, like, for it to appear properly, you can do something like this: add an empty space in between, like concatenate it with an empty space, and then we get John Matt. So this is concatenation. We are concatenating two strings together. So another thing we can do with strings is like there are so many built-in functions we can use with strings. We are not going to look at all of them, so we are just going to look at a few, but I'm going to add a link you can use to use other, like to access other ones. I'm going to add a link you can use to access other ones. So then the next built-in function we are going to look at is lower. Like this can be used to convert characters in a string to lowercase. So we can clearly see that welcome has the intro variable has welcome W in capital letters and YouTube in capital letters. So with lower, what lower does, it converts all the characters in a string variable to lowercase. So for example, when we look at intro, we clearly see we have W and Y in caps. So but if we were to run call the lower built-in function on intro, it will convert all the characters including W and Y to lowercase. So if we now we get welcome to my YouTube channel with W and Y being lowercase. So that's how the lower that's how the lower function works. And then the next one we're going to look at is upper. So you could say upper intro, and it does the opposite of what lower does. So if we say upper, this will mean this will convert all the characters in our intro variable to uppercase. So if you run this, you get welcome to my YouTube channel in all caps. So that's the upper function. So there are so many of these. Like there is title, which converts just the first characters of each word in a string to capital letters. So if we were to run our code again, we get welcome to my YouTube channel, like the welcome starting with capital W and the rest of the characters being lowercase. 2 we have capital T, and then O lowercase, M capital M. Like it capitalizes all the first letters of each word in the string. So that's title. So we have many of these. So another one we are going to look at, another built-in function we are going to look at that we can use with strings. We'll look at replace. So you might have a situation you want to replace a particular character in a string. You can use replace. So replace, the way replace works is it takes two parameters. The first parameter being the string you want to replace, or like the character or characters we want to replace, and the second parameter being the string we want to replace the first string with. So for example, in this our intro variable, we see we have welcome to my YouTube channel. We could decide, okay, we want to change YouTube to Facebook, and so that it reads welcome to my Facebook channel. So that in that case we'll pass YouTube, which is the string we want to replace, at the first as the first parameter, the first position, and at the second we'll pass what we want to replace YouTube with, in this case Facebook. So if we were to run this, we get welcome to my Facebook channel. So that's the replace built-in function. So there are so many of these that are built in, that are very useful in real world situations when you are building an application. Like you might need to use any of this. So there is let's say we'll look at find. So find is another one, and what find does is it's a very important built-in function. Like it tells you if a particular character is found in a string, like where it is found, or if it is not found, it gives you -1. So you could say intro dot find. Let's say we want to find where we have the string 2. So we know in our intro variable 2 we have 2 that comes after welcome. So if we pass intro dot find, and if we call intro dot find and we pass 2 as the string we want to look like, check for the index, we get 9. We get 9 because if we it's the position at which we have the string 2. So if we were to count, you see that to start at index 9. So like this is very important because it tells you the position, like the index where you have a particular character. And if you pass a character that does not exist in your variable, for example, in this case, let's say we know there's no Z in this intro variable that reads welcome to my YouTube channel. If you were to pass Z, it will give you a -1. so it gives you -1. So this can be very important in a real application, in a situation you are checking for the existence of a particular character in a string. If the character doesn't exist, you always get -1, but if the character exists, you either get 0 or 1, 2, like going up depending on at the position you have. That character is at. 0 meaning the character is at the first position. So that's the find built-in function. So like I said, there are so many of them, we cannot look at all of them, but I will try to add a link in the description you can use to find, like to try many of the other built-in functions that we can use with strings. So yeah, so for example, if you, let's say you have intro and you do dot of intro, you get all, like you get so many capitalized, case fold, count, format, find. So this, like there are so many you can use. Like these are all the different methods or attributes like that that strings have, so we are not going to look at all of them.